Hello, guys. Today I'm going to give you a quick walkthrough about how to create a release on Parydise dashboard. This is pretty much what you're going to be seeing at the dashboard when you first log in. So if you have a release, this is the release, or so let's click create new release here. Also, there is another button here. You can also create the release that way. So it's 5 steps, the release process. The first step is about the release information, which is like the main information about the release. Then we're going to get into the track details, distribution details. So it's going to go on like that. Let's start with the cover art. You can drag and drop, or you can just select from one of your covers. In this case, I'm selecting the cover. So the image is larger than 5,000 pixels probably. So you gotta fix your image in this case. These are large images as you see. So I'm gonna have something else for the cover. I've already uh, downgraded the cover to 5,000. So this is 5,000 pixels. So this here is the cover. Here we write the release title. It's Turkish release by dear Alicia. It's called Radio Neptune. It's coming out in 4 EPs. It's gonna be an album later. So here we write the album name, the release name or the single name. Here we should choose the type of the release. In this case, I'm choosing EP because there are 2 tracks coming with this EP. If it's just one song, you should choose single. If it's a couple of songs, EP, and if it's a full album, you are choosing album. Here you can write the remix of or version of the release, which means if somebody remix this, let's say Radio Neptune Volume 2, David Guetta remix could be the album's name. It's going to show in brackets in Spotify when you write anything here. Or if you write live, so it's like a live concert recording. So it's going to, let's say, you can say live in Sydney. So it's going to show this right next to the release title in Spotify and other platforms. But commonly, it's not being used. If there is some special version, usually this is being used. So here you are selecting if it's an electronic music release or not, because there are some genre-specific stores like Beatport that only accepts electronic music. So here you should be choosing electronic music to enable delivery to electronic music only stores. In this case, I'm not choosing electronic music release because this is not a Beatport type release. The genre, there are pretty much every genre in this selection. So I'm selecting the relevant genres here, which is in this case indie pop, and I can say it's like an electronic chill out kind of vibe. This is important because this is how your track finds its way in DSP. So you should be careful about selecting the relevant genres here. Language of the release. This is even if you are releasing an instrumental album, still this can be the language of the release name. This is not about the tracks. This is about the language of the release. So in this case, this is a Turkish release, so I chose Turkish. P year, C year, and also there's the record label selection here. It's pretty much same all the time. P year means in detail it's the publishing owner, which means the cover art and other type of printed materials most of the times that means, and means the sound recording. So in most of the cases, it's going to be the record label in this case. So it's 2025. Let's say this Golden Thread Records. Again, 2024, 25, Golden Thread Records. You can create a new record label here also, and then it's going to go here. Since we have created one, we don't need to do that. If you create it once, in all your releases, you can keep on selecting that record label. License type, copyright, Creative Commons. Copyright means if there is a copyright to this song, you should choose, which is in most cases. There are some Creative Commons tracks, which is like you don't need any copyright to use them. But if you are releasing your own song, it's going to be copyright, of course. Even for the cover songs, it's gonna still has to be copyright. So release UPC EAN code. If you have it, you can put it here. If you have a previously released track that you are moving from another distributor, or in a way you acquire the UPC, but in most cases you won't have a UPC, so you should leave this part checked so that we can provide you a UPC for your release. This is how you track your release in all platforms. Catalog number, again, is that's something some record labels used to use. If you don't give a catalog number, you can create one catalog number for yourself, and you can follow that those numbers. But in case you don't provide a number, we will be providing you a catalog number here. Global release identifier. This is again some form of identification number. You can go online and get one. What it helps, it's going to help you get discovered in more places, but it's not commonly used as far as we see. This is optional. In required fields, you're gonna get a prompt that is required, but this is not a required field. So you can leave this part like this. So we're gonna be handling all of them. Here, so here you can see your available artists that you have created before, and you can select one of them, or you can create a new artist. In this case, let's create a new artist to see the walkthrough. Let's say the artist is a commonly known artist I'm going to choose to give you an idea. Weekend, let's say. So if it's the weekend you are releasing, you should choose the weekend provide profile here on Spotify, and you can choose the one on YouTube again. And for the rest of the links, you should copy it. Like let's say Apple Music profile artist link, we can just go here. We can write the weekend. Oh, I couldn't type it. Weekend. So here we got the artist. Okay. So we go to the artist profile. We make sure this is the artist, and we copy link and we paste the link here, Apple Music link. So that's it. So you can do this for all these social media, Facebook, Twitter, SoundCloud. If you have a website, biography, uh, it's better to fill this out. It's optional yet still, but if you don't fill this properly, so then the release can go to another profile, especially if you don't have a unique name. So if there are other artists with the same name, it could appear in different artist profiles. So you should be careful about putting the right kind of links here, especially like if you want your song to go to Instagram, you should fill out here. You should have a Facebook page connected with your Instagram account so that it's going to be appearing there as well. So try to fill this, complete this. So it's going to be a better metadata. So when you create an artist, it's going to create an artist. In this case, I'm not creating an artist. So let's leave it like that. Dismiss, yes, I want to dismiss. So I'm going to continue with my already pre-created artist. So primary artist, I gotta choose at least one primary artist per release. So in this case, it's Alicia. I can select from the drop down. You should also you have to choose an artist role for the primary artist. Here you see the roles. It can be an instrument, or in this case, Alicia is singing the vocals, of course, so it's going to be vocals. So if you are doing an instrumental track, you can basically, and if it's the producer, if the who is the primary artist, so you can basically select programming or any other instrument you played in the release. So you gotta have at least one role and one primary artist per release. So this is the important part. Featuring artist is the artist appearing next to as featuring. Let's say Alicia featuring David Guetta. So you fill the information here. It's similar. Let's say Alicia featuring Glorilla, and it's playing the bass guitar. So it's gonna look like this in this case. So you can add three primary artists and three featuring artists here. So that's the limitation at this part. Anyway, so I'm deleting this. Also, there are featuring artist types, which is not commonly used in pop or like performer. Usually in pop music, it's the featuring option is, but they are all gonna end up like the same. It's gonna right next to in Spotify and other platforms. It's gonna be like primary artist featuring artist, which is like Alicia featuring Glorilla. That's how it's gonna look. We don't have a featuring artist, so I'm deleting this. Producer is mandatory. Every album should have at least one producer. If you have more, you can add more. So in this album, I know that Arem Özgüç and Arman Aydın took these roles. So I'm selecting their names as the producers. So lyricist, composer, these are not mandatory. I mean, if the release have the same lyricist and composer, so you can enter here, but here we're gonna have different tracks, so they have different lyricist and composer. So we're gonna add those details on the track level. Additional credits also, you can add other musicians involved here. So you can select the role of the musician again. So it's going to create other credits here as well. So we don't have any other musician in this case. So it's the required field. So we can go to the next step. Next step is where you upload your music. So you can drag and drop here, or you can drag and drop here. So let me select a relevant track. So the first track should be Aman Aman for this release. So it's uploading. Let me fill out the details. Track title, Aman Aman. Track version, remix name. Again, it's the same as I showed in the release page. If you write anything here, it's gonna be in brackets. It's gonna show like it's in brackets in Spotify. So let's say Aman Aman David Guetta remix. You don't put brackets here, of course, so it's going to show like brackets. I just put it to show. So you can write if there is a or live in Sydney, you can write here. If you have remastered edition 2025, these are all possible track versions names. But if it's the original track, so you don't need to write anything here. So again, at the track level, you can fill out information. So whatever you put on the release level, it's going to show up on track level because it's covering all the releases. So our primary artist is Alicia on vocals. So that's here. We don't have any featuring artists. The producers are here, so we already selected. So this track has a lyricist and composer. These are required fields. So we gotta select a lyricist here. In this case, it's Ari Barakas, I guess. This track's yeah, it's not showing here. So we create a new artist called Ari Barakas. Yeah. It's always good to select and create these informations, but it's not really mandatory for composer and lyricist to fill out everything. But if you fill them out, it's going to be better for your discoverability. So select an artist, lyricist, composer. It's here now, I guess. Ari Barakas wrote the lyrics. Also, composer in this song is again Ari Barakas. So we filled out these details. So the tracks can have different genres than the release genres. So there is another option to select here. So I'm going to go with the similar genres, but you can select any relevant genre here to create more variations. Release language, even if it's instrumental. So here's the Turkish. This is not instrumental. If it's instrumental, you can select instrumental here. So, but this is not instrumental. This is in Turkish. So I'm going to select Turkish. Uh, so explicit lyrics. If you have cleaned lyrics or explicit, you should select here. And this is not an explicit music. So lyrics, you gotta fill out the lyrics here. It's also important for your metadata to put the right kind of lyrics here. Uh, Let me copy the lyrics now. Let's find it. Aman aman lyrics. Be careful just to copy the lyrics. We don't need other type of information in this field. So we wrote the lyrics here. ISRC code. We will assign you an ISRC code. But if you don't, if you have an ISRC code, in some cases, if it's an already released track, you can have that. So you can put your ISRC code here. But if you, as default, select this option, so we're gonna provide you an ISRC for the track. ISW code is for publishing details. If you registered your song to publishing, it's better to put the ISWC code so it's gonna match automatically. So then you won't have to again work on it. So it's a better use. So if you wrote your song, it's better to first register with your CMO and get the ISWC code. They will provide you that, and you can then put this code here. So this is the again the the master recording information for this release. So you're gonna put the label or person who owns the rights of this recording. Here you can just listen and select the TikTok preview start time here. So usually you should select the most impactful part of the release so that it's gonna show out on the previews. So you can review it and select it here. Available separately means some stores like iTunes is selling your tracks as downloadable items. So if you want each track of this release to be available separately, not an album, they can click and buy. So you should select this. It's default selected. Better to leave it like this. I mean, most of the times it's a better practice. So I'm moving on to the second track again quickly. So I'm gonna here upload. It's the Sevda Çiçeği. I know the second song. So let's write the name. It's in Turkish characters. Sevda Çiçeği. So again, artists and producers are selected. Here I should just create the song belongs to, I know, Fikret Kızılok. Need again Turkish characters here. So Fikret Kızılok, this is Fikret Kızılok, I know. Create an artist. Okay, so Lyricist will be, in this case, Fikret Kızılok. Again, the composer of the track is Fikret Kızılok, so I selected that. And there's this, again, genre selection here, and there's the subgenre again. I'm gonna select it here. Release language, Turkish. Lyrics, you should paste the lyrics here. Let's find it. Here are the lyrics. So we put the lyrics here. Linear notes is valuable if you have them put it here. It's like a metadata. Some stores accept linear notes, so we also provide this metadata. So it's like an explanation of your track. You can explain the production process or the meaning of the song or like the musicians involved, where you recorded, any kind of geek information you would like to provide is acceptable here. It's going to remain in the metadata of your release as well, and will be delivered to the platforms that's accepting that. ISRC code, you can leave it default like this. We will provide you one. I explained you this. So here we write the name of the record label. Again, you listen and select the relevant preview start time here, available separately. And so we pretty much completed the first two steps. Now we are going to the third step, distribution. So we always suggest you to schedule your release at least like 2 weeks before your release time. Even if you ask Spotify or other platforms, they will suggest you to create your release 3 weeks in advance. So it's up to you the when you want to release the track. So usually Friday is always a good idea to release this albums or releases because of everyone is used to. But so this is by default. It's going to be releasing midnight Friday. So. Uh, Original release date is the date if this is the previous released album. Let's say the album was released on 1980 in vinyl, and then this is a digital release now. So this is the date where it's going to go online on Spotify, YouTube, everywhere. And this is the date of the original release of this album, if it's released on physical or digital in some other distributor. So in this case, we don't have any original release date, so it's going to be the similar with the digital release date. Just keep in mind, original release date cannot be later than digital release date. That's the requirement. So price category, it's acceptable to leave it mid. Again, this is for the download stores which provide audio downloads. Leaving at mid is the common practice. Here you can select the stores you want to distribute or not. Usually you can just select all and distribute if you don't want to exclude any of these stores. So here you can exclude territories that you don't want to distribute to if you have some other agreements and or if you don't want your track to appear in a country. So this is where you exclude that. This is for again, if you are releasing an electronic track, they have these kind of options. But if it's not an electronic music release, you are not involved in that. This is where you select the exclusivity of the track. Actually, like there is this thing for Beatport. You can first promote it at Beatport and release that, and later release on platforms if you have a special agreement or deal. But again, it's not a common practice, and we don't suggest if you don't have any marketing plan about that. So here, this is where you create splits. I mean, you cannot shareholders. If you want to share your share with the label owner, with the singing artist, with the guitarist or producers, you can just add splits here, and you can share with them the way you like. So they're going to be invited to platform, they're going to register, and they're going to start receiving their money on their own accounts as well. So this is called the splits tool. There is another full detailed explanation about this. So you can check out that video as well if you like. You can here also create contracts, accept disputes. So there are many functions at this level. But now I'm assuming you are like the only shareholder, so you shouldn't do anything. You just select finalize splits. So it's gonna be okay. So next is to review everything and submit this release. So here you can review all the information you provided. If there is anything missing or anything wrong, you can just go back and change it. If it's everything looks okay, you just click distribute this release. So your release is being created. So yes, it's been created. Now it's on us. You can copy the smart link and share on your socials. There are pre-saved links here, or like you can connect emails. You can customize this from the smart links section as well. That's another video again. There's a huge details and color options how you can customize the smart link, and you can share the link everywhere. So your release is created. From this moment, our team will be reviewing the release for quality control process. If everything is okay, we are sending it out to stores. Thank you for watching.